Hi, we just watched the trailer for Bastards.
Ha ha, your mom's a slut.
That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy.
Hello. We just watched the trailer for Bastards. This is movie trailer trash. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Bethany.
And this is a movie, a comedy, featuring Ed Helms and Owen Wilson. It seems to be fairly formulaic.
Sure.
As far as I'm concerned, you know,
it doesn't look, it looks predictable, and it's one of those going on a trip with one goal in mind type movies.
It's a journey movie.
Yeah.
And I think that even this has happened before. So, what the idea is that Ed Helms and Owen Wilson are brothers. First of all, that's a little weird in and of itself, but
go with it.
Yeah, go with it. And they are told by their old mother, Glenn Close, that she made up a story about who their real father was, and she never knew who it was. And so they go on a road trip to try and figure out who their real father is.
And so the opener there.
Oh, yeah. And so they they meet a bunch of old guys, and they're just like, hey, do you remember, what was her name?
My mom?
Heather Baxter.
Helen or whatever, yeah.
And
they're just like,
they just make a whole bunch of
I?
jokes about how loose she was and how good at sex she was and that she was a dick whisperer. And so I feel like a lot of the comedy in this movie might come from, like, haha, your mom's a slut type jokes. Like, they don't know that they're
what you're saying, though,
yet.
is that it's kind of a cheap shot kind of humor.
Yeah, it's a little easy.
It's like fart jokes or dick jokes.
Right.
It's like, okay, haha, but really be clever and be funny. It takes a lot more than just being like, haha, we had sex with your mom.
I'm Terry Bradshaw and I had sex with your mom.
Although, not that that's not funny sometimes. And
well,
okay,
Terry Bradshaw having sex with your mom, always funny.
But I see where you're going with that. And I also think that that doesn't mean that it will be not funny or that it will be just those jokes.
No, yeah, yeah.
I personally am very excited to see Owen Wilson and Ed Helms together because there's this moment in the trailer where they back up their car and hit a person, and Owen Wilson says, "What was that?" And Ed Helms goes, "I think it was a person," and he has this look on his face that is such an Owen Wilson moment. Like Ed Helms did such, I was like, I could totally see Owen Wilson doing that exact thing in a different type of movie. Like, so I think that they'll be good together. I think they have hopefully we'll have good chemistry. And that's one thing I noticed throughout the whole trailer is I thought they had good chemistry.
Yeah, they did
look
to do well together.
Yeah, even though they look nothing alike. If you can put that behind you, who cares?
I have a feeling Terry Bradshaw is going to play a larger role in this movie than I would prefer.
Probable. I do like the bald guy from Whiplash.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is in it.
He's funny, and I think that'll be good.
I want more pictures of Spider-Man.
I always forget that that's that guy because he has hair in that one.
Yes, he's got some wild hair in that one. Well, okay, so in this movie, the director, this is his first movie. He, however, was the director of photography, so the cinematographer for like 100 movies from the past decade.
Okay.
Some of the most notable being he did the Hangover movies.
Okay.
He did I Love You Man.
Ooh, good movie.
He did Due Date, which is
pretty good too.
Which is basically, this
very
movie.
Similar, except that very similar because it's a road trip with two people, but with that one, it's like an odd couple type of situation where this one, they're brothers and buddies.
Yeah. And then he also did, and I wrote this down because I know you like this movie, he was the director of photography for Dan in Real Life.
Oh, my God.
Oh, M Squee.
Oh, yeah. For those of you out there who have never seen Dan in Real Life, go watch it. It's a good movie.
Now, I don't think that this one will be like that.
Nothing like
either,
it, no.
Even in the way that it's shot. Because Dan in Real Life was cool because they shot it in an actual house, and they had to, alter the angles.
Yeah, they had to be careful not to let you see the cameraman on the other side and stuff because it wasn't a set; it was a real house. They had to be careful about, not having pillars that are like load-bearing pillars in the picture and stuff. It was really interesting. I've seen all the special special stuff on the DVD commentary and stuff, whatever.
Yeah, and they don't
Very
have a lot of
interesting the way
cuts
they
or
filmed
anything.
that.
So that was cool. I don't think this will be like that. This
No.
looks to be filmed like your standard Ed Helms comedy.
But I will say that's interesting. You know, he's worked with Ed Helms before then from the first one you said, Hangover, right?
Mhm.
And then I Love You Man, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a great movie. So I mean, those are comedies, and I think those look good. They're interesting. I think that's weird to go from being like a cinematographer to that, but
I mean, it
kind
makes
of
sense.
cool, yeah.
And then the writer of this, actually, his first writing appearance, I guess, is going to be Office Christmas Party.
How very interesting.
And so he wrote Office Christmas Party. He's going to write this. He is also writing that Baywatch.
Oh, is that a Baywatch movie or show?
Yeah, it's a movie. With The Rock.
By the way, for those of you listening who haven't heard our episode of Office Christmas Party, when you're done with this one, go back and check that out.
Yeah, you jerks.
We did an episode, and that's it kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Similar, because both of these movies, let's say Office Christmas Party and this, and we won't talk too much about Office Christmas Party because you got to go listen to our other episode. But yeah, so I would say both that and this, they look kind of like a callback to what comedy was. Like I've talked about this in other things. It's like what happened to all the comedy movies. I think I talked about that in Office Christmas Party. There has not been a lot of great comedy movies. I would say even in the since maybe 2012. I mean, it's been a while. And they're here and there, but they're here and there. There's Neighbors and whatever. But
we've talked about this before. Where the best comedies are not just straight comedies now.
Yeah, they're action movies that happen to be funny.
Right.
I mean, not even because we talk a lot about superhero movies, so obviously those are all funny. Well, backtrack. Obviously, all the Marvel ones are funny, but also like Mission Impossible. The last Mission Impossible was funny.
Yeah.
Those movies are funny, but they're not comedies. We want a straight comedy, and it seems like lately people have been having trouble writing straight comedies. They either have to be really weird, quirky stuff or whatever, which is fine, and we love that, but yeah, I think that these will be fun, and they're just made to be comedies, to be fun, and I like that. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and I think that as much as I like the people in this, Ed Helms and Owen Wilson, they're great. TJ Miller and Jason Bateman and the other one, in Office Christmas Party. I want to see someone new. I want to see some new people be allowed to make a movie that is a comedy.
Okay, well, what about Seth Rogen and Zac Efron with their Neighbors and Neighbors 2?
Get them out of there.
What?
No, Seth Rogen Seth Rogen and Jason Bateman and a few other people are seemingly the only people allowed to make comedies.
But Zac Efron, nobody would have expected him in a comedy. Here's another story for you. Channing Tatum, nobody would have been like, oh, he's a comedy actor. He's so funny in those movies.
Well, yeah, but don't act like he
21
would have been
and 22 Jump Street.
like it would have been good without Jonah Hill, though.
Well, first
He
of
wouldn't
all,
have been funny
first of all,
without
how
Jonah
do
Hill.
you know that?
Because
You don't know that.
I'm very aware.
Him and Jonah Hill had great chemistry.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you could have found another funny actor
And
you had
also,
chemistry with.
there's no way they would have let him be in that movie if it wasn't for Jonah Hill.
Yeah. I mean, well, who knows? Maybe he just auditioned. Do you know why he got in that movie?
They're bros, and they wanted to.
But were they bros
to make a
before
movie
that
about
movie?
21 Jump Street. Yeah, they did because they're both
How'd they
executive
meet?
producers on it.
Oh, yeah, true. You know what? I don't know, but I'm just saying that was new. Because, Jonah Hill's in some things. I mean, he was in Superbad, but that was a long time ago, and he's not... I mean, he's been in a lot of different things. He's not just straight comedy. He's not like Seth Rogen, where he's done all of the comedy.
There you go. I want to see Seth Rogen in a drama.
I feel like he's been in a drama.
Yeah, he was Wozniak in the Steve Jobs movie.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. So
yeah,
but yeah. So
I don't know
anyway,
if that was any good or not.
I guess I understand what you're saying, but then I'm like, they chose such great actors. So yes, obviously Ed Helms and Owen Wilson. Which, by the way, I never get tired of Owen Wilson. I feel like he hasn't been in a lot recently. Yeah, I mean, well, he hasn't been in a lot of good movies recently. When he's in a good movie, he cracks me up and I love him. He's great.
I'm trying to think of the last one that I really enjoyed that he was in.
I mean, it's been a long time since he's been in any real
I
good
feel
ones,
like
honestly.
Meet the Parents.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really long time ago. Was that before or after Shanghai Nights and Shanghai Noon?
I think that was
those are
before.
good. Those are good. Yes, they
Those
are.
are good,
Don't
but
you
you got to
dare.
put those into a
Don't you
different
dare.
category. They
No,
have
it's a
to be in
comedy.
different,
They're comedies.
I mean, but
That's
kind of.
No, the only category you could possibly put those in is
Jackie
Chan humor. No, Jackie Chan comedy.
Yeah.
And that is a wonderful
No,
category
yeah,
to
Jackie
be in.
Chan gets his own category. That's fair.
That's fine. I would do a whole night of just Jackie Chan comedy movies.
Yeah.
Absolutely, any day. But okay, Owen Wilson's
I
great.
don't think you could do a whole night.
Oh yeah.
How many Jackie
Rush
Chan
Hour.
movies do you think
Rush
you could
Hour
watch
2.
in a row?
I refuse to watch Rush Hour 3, but I will watch Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights, Who Am I?
Who am I?
And then,
What about Drunken Master? That was a good
Drunken
one.
Master. That was great.
I will not watch The Tuxedo though.
No. There's only so far you can go. I won't watch the one that's the babysitter one that's like,
Yeah.
I think I watched that one. Was he in the same babysitter one with Vin Diesel, or was
No.
that a separate one? Well, they both
That
were
would've
in
been-
very
that
similar
would've been
movies,
wild.
though.
I would like to see a Jackie Chan Vin Diesel
No,
movie.
but both. I remember that both those movies were super similar and came out like close to each other.
No.
But okay, beside the point. I'm just saying those are great actors, so why not have them in another great like comedy? Why not
No,
use
yeah,
them?
I mean,
And
they shouldn't be
then-
punished for being in a lot of movies.
Well, yeah, and I don't think that. Okay, yeah, they're using them, but also they're using that girl from The League.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And I don't know if she'll be a small part or a big part, but I love her, so
Probably small. She looks to be his husband or wife.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
Don't know
thought-
the story.
I thought that she was probably like a girlfriend or something,
Yeah, I mean,
or a girl that he meets and tells about his day, because she was like, "Sounds like you had a bad day," and he's like, "A really bad day, but also a really good
now
day."
I want to talk about that line specifically because that was one of the things that kind of intrigued me about the movie. Just the fact that happens, you know what I mean? Is just like that the event or whatever that you're doing, some sort of quote unquote adventure that you go on that is simultaneously the best and worst thing you've ever done. You know, just like the worst because all this stuff happened and it was terrible at the time or scary or whatever, and then afterwards you realize that it was the best because you made it through and you feel like you're
Well,
a
and
better
now you have
person.
a story to tell or whatever.
And movies like this usually either, you know, don't recognize that specifically or just gloss over it. And they just like end with like their arms around each
Like,
other.
wow, that
And
was
so,
crazy. Yeah.
And so like,
But who
I
knows?
think it would
This could be. I don't know if that's the very end of the movie, or, you know, I don't know how many days this movie spans.
and so I think it might be possible that they, I don't know, I mean, acknowledge
something
it in some way.
interesting?
Yeah.
That there's something that's unpredictable about it.
Yeah, something
You're
that's more
saying,
to it than all
what
of
if
this crazy
something-
stuff happens.
Exactly. Which you know, who knows? But because we don't know this writer and we haven't seen The Office Christmas Party yet.
And apparently
however-
he's also writing Bad Teacher too.
Hey, did you ever see Bad Teacher?
Yeah.
That's the one with Reese Witherspoon?
No, Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
And Jason
Sorry,
Segel.
I apologize. I get those two mixed up sometimes.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, I thought it was really bad.
I thought
Except
it was.
for every
I
part
thought
with
it
Jason
was
Segel.
totally underrated. Thought it was funny.
I thought everything.
I enjoyed it, but I mean, it was a long time ago. I think I saw it before I knew you.
everything
and I'm
that
married to
wasn't
you,
Jason
so-
Segel talking. It was bad.
I don't know. I thought Cameron Diaz was funny.
It's kind of how I
What
felt
I
like
can
How I
remember
Met
of
Your
it.
Mother when I first saw it.
You're silly.
Just like everything. where
But
Jason
then that
Segel isn't
grew on you,
speaking.
right?
Well, yeah, that's a little different though.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be fun, and I'm 100% on board with people writing comedies, even if they might seem to be somewhat predictable or formulaic. At least it's a new story. Like, yeah, it might follow a formula, but it's a new story. It's not Ghostbusters 2,
Right.
or, you know, remastered or redone, rebooted. It's not 21 Jump Street, although that was amazing, but it's something new. Somebody wrote this story.
I wonder
you know?
who this guy is, this writer is, that he's just like he was like signed on to like 6 movies in a row for all the opening in the
Did
next
you not
2
see
years.
if he wrote any like TV shows or anything else?
He wrote one short film.
Weird.
And that's it.
Maybe he's written a lot of like, you know, maybe he has a lot of spec work that he shows people, and somebody just saw it and was amazed.
Or maybe he's someone's friend.
That's very possible. Interesting though. I mean, whatever. I'm open to seeing movies that a new writer that I've never heard of has written.
Absolutely.
I want people to write. I want people to get out there and write and stop making remakes and stop making sequels and prequels.
Yes.
However, if you make a sequel or prequel to something that I'm in love with, I will go see it. So I am a part of the problem.
Yes, we are always a part of the problem.
Oh, the dilemma.
All
Toy
right.
Story 4. What can I do?
You're going to see it and it's probably going to be
I
great.
am at your mercy.
let's move on to where, when, and how you're going to see this one.
All right.
Where? When? How?
Are you going to see this movie?
Okay, folks. How am I going to see this movie? Where am I going to see it? When? Why? Okay. I would have to say, if I see this movie, it will probably be when it comes out on Netflix. Gonna be honest. It is possible. I could totally see myself renting it, like actually renting it on Vudu, spending the $5 or something. If there's a night when I'm hanging out with my sister specifically, and we're like, there's no comedies out. I just want to watch a comedy. We're like, that might be fun. It's Ed Helms and it's Owen Wilson. What do we have to lose? I'll spend $6 on that.
I will probably not see this movie unless someone like aggressively shoves it into my face because it's good. Like that's what happened with 21 Jump Street. That's what happened with The Change Up.
You aggressively shoved that in my face.
Yes, I did.
And even then, we've both agreed that it's not really memorable.
No, it's just good,
fun,
and you
though.
wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think. So like, even if it, if it was on Netflix, if it was on TV, if someone like had it for some reason, I don't think I would sit down to watch it unless I got a guarantee from someone whose opinion I value. This is really good.
Okay, you know that movie Bad Words?
Yeah.
With Jason Bateman?
I like that movie.
Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar, Bad Words is a movie with Jason Bateman.
Which he directed. I
didn't realize that. It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible. It was a fun time. It's funny. It's about a guy. He's in the spelling bee, right?
I liked it a lot. I liked how it was done a lot.
But see, here's the thing. This movie is at least as good as that, and I can say that just by looking at it.
What? There's no way you could say that.
That movie
just
is
by
not that
looking at
good.
it. Well, yeah,
that
but
movie,
but it's done in a different way at least. You know what I mean? It's
this
unique
is something
in some way.
that you, Charlie, always say to me about movies that I think look good. You say, that looks like a made-for-TV movie. And that's exactly what Bad Words looked like the whole way through. It looked like Aquila and the Bee.
Did it really?
Yes, it looked like Aquila and the Bee.
It looked like darkish.
It looked like an indie film, which I think it was. Was it indie?
I think so.
But it looked like an indie film with a really low budget.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me a lot of Safety Not Guaranteed, which I liked, but I liked that a lot better than Bad Words. But anyway,
well, that's a better movie than Bad Words.
Absolutely. But Bad Words was fun, but it wasn't great. We weren't laughing out loud the whole time. This one will probably be funnier.
It'll have more jokes in it. That's for sure.
At least that. But anyway, the point is, when we watched Bad Words, it was on our honeymoon. There was like nothing out, and we just wanted to rent a movie. You know, it was like, we've been to the beach all day. We've had our smoothies. Let's watch a movie. In fact, it's kind of hilarious that we've
had our smoothies and our giant egg sandwiches.
It's kind of hilarious that the two movies we watched on our honeymoon, neither of them were very good movies. We watched that, and we watched RoboCop, the new RoboCop, both of which I enjoyed okay. But I would
RoboCop was bad.
I enjoyed it okay though. I was like, whatever. But I can't believe that we watched. Like, I wish we could have watched any like really good movie on our honeymoon, but there was nothing out. And so that's what I was gonna say. I feel about this one.
It also didn't matter. We were in marital bliss.
Yeah, bliss. But I feel like about this movie, like I did about Bad Words, where it wasn't that anybody was aggressively, like you said, you need somebody to be like, no, you gotta watch it. I felt like we were both just really apathetic about it. Like, well, this looks like not bad.
Uh-huh.
And that's how I feel about this one. I feel like actually if you end up watching it, it'll be on a day where you and I are just like, what do you want to watch? We're like, you want to watch this? No. It's like every movie you suggest, I say no, and vice versa. Nothing looks good. And then we're just like, let's apathetically choose this one because we have no real strong opinions.
Okay.
And I feel like that would totally happen. That seems like something that would totally happen. And then we'd be like, hey, that was fun.
Or we'd fall asleep during it.
I never fall asleep during movies.
I never fall asleep.
I never fall asleep, period.
I never fall asleep.
No, I do fall asleep, just not during movies. Why would I fall asleep when I'm in the middle of a movie that I've never seen? Come on. What am I? I'm not going to get to see the ending that way. But anyway, all right. So let's move into the next section.
Oh, what's that?
Rotten Tomatoes ratings.
Oh. Rotten Tomatoes percentages. All right. Well, I think that this movie will get low ratings. I don't know. I've got the comedies in general don't do very well, and just the way that it looks like
it doesn't
forgettable.
look like a high rating type of movie.
it just, I mean, it caught our eyes. It literally caught our eyes just because it's a comedy. And that's pretty much the only reason.
Well, and I clicked on the trailer, first of all, because I was like, ooh, Ed Helms.
Right. Yeah.
Owen Wilson. You know, I mean, you're right. They're definitely relying heavily on those two guys to sell the movie.
It's not like we heard the concept of it and we're just like, ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, there's no way if you just told me the concept that I would have been like, ooh.
And so for that reason, I think that critics will give it a 44. However, I think that audience will give it a 63. So I think there will be a big gap just because it will be
because it'll be
enjoyable and it'll be a comedy and it has people in it that they like and that's what they were expecting.
By the way, before I give my ratings, have you ever seen the Ed Helms, Jennifer Aniston Travel to Mexico movie? I cannot think of the name.
Is it We Are the Millers?
We Are the Millers. I kept thinking Joneses. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Okay, that movie was aggressively shoved on me.
Yeah.
My friend was like, no, you guys, I swear it's funny. And now we were at a party, so there's a bunch of us.
And that one looked really bad in the trailers.
We laughed our butts off.
Our butts?
I would love to show you that movie. I would
Hang
show it
on
to you
your
right
butts.
now. It was so funny, but also very much like the Change Up, where it's like, I mean, I couldn't remember a few parts, but it's not like, oh, the story was so original, but the jokes were so good. They were so good, and the cast had such great chemistry. Well, anyway, I could see this being like that, which I agree with you. The critics will probably give it lower. The audience will probably give it higher. I could see critics giving it like, let's go with 52%.
Ooh, a lot higher than me.
But they're gonna be like, oh, well, if you like something that's predictable and formulaic,
Which is basically exactly
what
what
we're
I
saying,
said as soon as this episode started.
I mean, they're not going to be happy with it, but they can't give it too bad because they'll be like, it was fun enough.
Right.
And then the audience, probably...
they won't give it like a 12,
I'll say the audience gives it like a 60, 63, 66, somewhere in there.
Okay.
63 to 66%. And the reason I say that is because, like, I'm pretty sure that Neighbors 2 got like 67%.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. 60,
and I'm like,
in the low 60s, I think.
And I'm like, if that's what the audience is giving Neighbors 2, then surely this cannot get higher than 66. It's got to be lower than Neighbors 2 because Neighbors 2 was so good. What is wrong with people? Give it at least a 73, folks.
No, but here's the thing, though.
It deserves a 73.
It's not that good.
You're false.
No, I mean, like, if you were to watch
wrong.
if you were to watch it right after you watched like a really good comedy, then you would realize that it's not that good. It's just that there's been nothing. There's been no good straight comedies.
A pox.
What was that?
A pox on you.
Okay.
I disagree completely. What do you think about Neighbors?
Neighbors is very good.
Oh, okay. So the one that's all about fraternities and boys is good, but the one that's all about sororities and girls is bad?
It's not all about sororities and girls. It's about Zac Efron's character.
Well, it is. You're right. But it also has a whole bunch of feminism in it, but in a great, subtle, funny way.
Well, it's funny. Well, I mean, we talked about this already in the episode about that movie, that trailer.
I loved it.
Where it's funny that the whole like movie or whatever is about feminism and sororities should be able to do whatever, and then the main character of the movie is the guy from the the last movie.
But I like it though because the movie isn't about feminism. It's about Zac Efron trying to deal with being an adult when all of his friends are adulting and he's still trying to figure it out.
Right.
That's really what it's about for those of you who want to go see it. It's about, it's like, I mean, for those of you who have recently left college, you know what it feels like.
Juno.
You're like, what am I supposed to do with my life now? What about college? That was fun. I want to go back there, but I can't. Well, that's kind of the premise of the movie. It just so happens that there's an underlying, like a side story going on where the sorority is like, screw the man,
Well, not,
No, but like, screw you guys, screw the establishment. How dare you say that we can't throw a party because we're women? It's stupid and it's ridiculous. And those women are really, really funny, which I also love about that movie, that they're like, hey, let's find a bunch of really, well, okay, I wouldn't say that the main girl.
That girl, by the way,
Chloe Moretz.
No. The girl that's her friend, the black girl in that movie is in Dope.
Yeah, she's great.
She's amazing in Dope.
And the Asian girl in that movie is great too. I'm sorry, guys. We'll get these people's names eventually. But yeah, no, just the people in that, they picked a bunch of funny people. I mean, Rose Byrne is hilarious anyway. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was great to see a bunch of like young female actresses who are being funny and clever and fun, and it was great. Oh, I just remembered just now, Kelsey Grammer was in that movie.
Yeah, he was great.
That was
in
a
it.
great little cameo. But anyway, I thought that movie was great. I thought it was at least as good as the first one, if not better. I thought that it did a really good job of, I mean, as far as sequels go, it could have easily just been the exact same movie, like the way The Hangover 2 was, where it's just like, and now there's this sorority you gotta kick out. But it was so much more than that. Like you said, there was an actual story to it.
Right.
A continuation. Oh, by the way, just another little tangent. The Asian girl, who is one of the main girls in the sorority, actually not one of the main, but a girl in the sorority who's real funny. I just found out recently that she's a musician of sorts, and she's hilarious. So look her up if you.
So look her up based off of that.
Look up the Asian girl from Neighbors 2
Based off
music
of that
video.
very limited information, look her up.
Look her up. It's great. But no. Okay. Well.
So what was the movie that we were originally talking about?
We were talking about Bastards.
Yeah.
Those bastards.
So yeah, Ed Helms, Owen Wilson. To my eyes, looks to be nothing more than your stereotypical going on a road trip, comedy.
Absolutely. But you know what? Some of the greater movies have been that.
I think that you will definitely enjoy it if you see it, but you won't remember it.
Yeah, maybe don't spend $10 on a theater ticket.
Yeah.
That's the main piece of advice I want to give you before
Maybe if you have some sort of gift
before
card.
we go today. Oh, definitely if you have a gift card and it's a bad weekend for movies.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, this has been Movie Trailer Trash. If you're new to the podcast, check us out at mttpodcast.com.
Where we just put up a new blog post.
New blog post.
And
we'll
I'm
be
also
putting
going
up
to try
more.
and get some more comparisons up there so that you can see how wrong we were about our Rotten Tomatoes guesses.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really fun. You can go back through and listen to some of our older episodes and hear what we have to say. And then also you can always message us on Twitter at MTT Podcast if you decide that you want us to talk about a trailer you saw.
Yeah.
Hit us up. And then why don't you do some plugs for some friends?
Oh, okay.
Friends of the show.
Go to Entertainment Buffets YouTube channel. That's where we are. You might be listening to us there right now. You go there, you subscribe, you comment on stuff, you do other things.
And peruse. See
yeah.
some of what they're doing because they make a bunch of stuff.
They have sketches. They have podcasts themselves that they put out.
Really funny. I'm serious. I know I just said that like really funny. But yeah, check them out. They're really fun.
And then also go to iTunes. Go check us out on iTunes and rate and review and do all of those things you want to do.
Tell the world how great we are.
Yeah, because we need it.
We need it, guys. We need you.
I need your validation.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time, right?
Absolutely.
Adios.